My husband had texted his friend that he'd leave me once he got promoted. "She's just a stepping stone," he wrote. I read it quietly, smiled, then called his boss. The confusion on his face when he got fired didn't last long once he saw who signed the letter. "I didn't want to be the messenger," Mike said across the diner booth, sliding a folder toward me, hands shaking. "But you deserve to know what your husband's been doing." I'd driven 2 towns over to meet David's coworker, expecting to uncover an affair. Instead, Mike showed me bank statements proving David had stolen my mother's entire inheritance, $47,000 I had trusted him to manage while he chased a promotion. Mike had known for 8 months. He'd been documenting everything, not to expose David, but to protect me when the truth came out. The man I'd been married to for 18 years had been sabotaging coworkers, falsifying factory reports, and funding an exit strategy entirely with my late mother's life savings. I had been too busy working extra shifts to notice. But I'm getting ahead of myself. To understand how I ended up staring at this evidence in a diner booth, you need to know my life just 2 weeks ago, the woman who still believed in the life we'd built together. It was a Tuesday morning, ordinary in every way. I stood in our small kitchen packing David's lunch like I had for 18 years. Turkey sandwich with mustard, apple slices in a cracked plastic container, thermos filled with coffee so strong it could strip paint. My hands moved through the motions without thought, muscle memory from thousands of mornings like this. Our house was modest but paid off. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 3 blocks from the factory where David had worked since we were newlyweds. We'd bought it with a VA loan and his grandfather's blessing back in 2006, thinking we were starting something permanent. 15 years later, the mortgage was finally done. I remembered celebrating with cheap champagne, dreaming of all the things we could now afford, things we never did. I smoothed my worn nursing scrubs and caught my reflection in the microwave door. 50, 2 years old, gray roots showing through the drugstore dye I could never keep up with. Eyes permanently tired from double shifts. On the refrigerator, our wedding photo showed a younger version of us. David in a rented tux, me in my mother's altered dress. 23 and 25, convinced love and hard work could build anything. I wonder now if that girl would recognize me. David came up behind me, kissed my forehead without really looking at me, grabbed the lunch bag, and checked his watch. "Another late night," he said. "Promotion review committee meets this week." I squeezed his calloused hand. "I'm proud of how hard you're working," I told him, meaning it. "Once I get that supervisor position, things will be different. Better hours, better pay. You won't have to work yourself to death at the nursing home." The door closed behind him. His truck's engine ground, making the same sound for 6 months that we couldn't afford to fix. I looked at the calendar, color-coded with my shifts in blue and his factory overtime in red. Every sacrifice planned, every compromise purposeful. I believed we were building something together. I grabbed my own lunch. Leftover pasta, an apple, a granola bar to survive a 2 a.m. break room snack. Every early morning, late night, skipped vacation, swallowed complaint, everything was meant to strengthen our foundation. The drive to Maple Grove Nursing Home took 20 minutes through quiet streets. Everyone knew everyone. Our town was small enough that news spread fast. My days blurred into a rhythm of 12-hour shifts, sometimes longer when someone called in sick, tending residents who forgot their own children's names, calling me by someone else's. Mrs. Chin gripped my hand during her morning bath. "You have kind eyes," she told me in broken English. "My daughter has eyes like yours. Mr. Rodriguez asked me to read his wife's letters from 1952, during the Korean War. Her hands shook too much to hold them, her eyes too poor to see the writing. I read about a young woman in Texas, counting days until her husband returned safely. She's gone now, he told me, 10 years, and he still missed her every day. The work was brutal, lifting patients who couldn't support themselves, managing medications for those who fought every step, soothing fears at 3 a.m. when someone woke convinced they were lost, abandoned, dying. My back ached constantly. My feet throbbed, even in expensive cushion shoes bought on sale. Yet it felt purposeful, meaningful. I came home to an empty house most nights. David's truck rarely returned before 11 p.m., sometimes past midnight. I heated leftovers standing at the counter, falling asleep on the couch with the TV playing. When David returned, he found me half-conscious in scrubs. "You should go to bed," he'd say, genuinely tired. I wanted to tell him I missed him, that 3 weeks had passed without a real conversation. Instead, I admitted the house felt lonely. He'd squeeze my hand. I know, but the promotion will change everything. We're almost there. Just a little longer. I swallowed my complaints to be supportive. That promotion became the North Star, justifying every empty night, lonely dinner, superficial conversation. Just a little longer. 3 years ago, when my mother died after a short battle with pancreatic cancer, she left me $47,000 from her house and a lifetime of careful saving. The check arrived on a Tuesday. I stared at it, thinking about how she wanted to give me security, options, a life easier than hers. That evening, David brought spreadsheets, concern in his eyes, explaining the factory's restructuring and potential cuts. One wrong move, one missed opportunity could cost everything we've worked for. He suggested using my inheritance to cover expenses for a year while he chased the promotion, taking financial pressure off so he could stand out. The spreadsheets made it look smart, responsible. Your mother would want you to use this money to protect our family. I signed, trusting him, believing every word. God helped me. Then everything changed. I picked up extra shifts to help with expenses, thinking it temporary. When Mike needed someone to cover a weekend, David asked me instead. We're all like family at the factory, he explained. I spent my Saturday restocking supplies for someone I barely knew, coming home exhausted but satisfied. David's late nights became routine. Production meetings past dinner, strategy sessions, networking dinners. I stopped asking questions. Didn't want to seem unsupportive. Our small town felt even smaller as I ate alone while neighbors laughed on porches. I told myself we were building toward something bigger, making sacrifices for a better future right up until I saw the text on David's phone that tilted my world. I called Mike and agreed to meet in Greenville. Now I sit in the diner booth, staring at bank statements proving David had been stealing for 3 years. Mike slides another document across the table, a transfer from 3 months ago, labeled Emergency Dental Work, $1,200. David had complained of a toothache that week, and I felt guilty for not noticing. There was no dental work. The money went to an account he shared with someone else. How did you get these? I ask. Mike looks uncomfortable. About 8 months ago, David asked him to submit a false expense report, claiming overtime that didn't exist, to split reimbursement 50-50. When Mike said no, David called him self-righteous, angry. That's when Mike began noticing discrepancies, equipment repairs that never happened, skipped safety inspections he signed off on. Why didn't you report him? I ask. Mike almost did, multiple times. But he thought about what would happen to me if David was fired. House, savings, everything could be lost. So he documented everything, hoping I could protect myself when the time came. Then Mike shows me a printed email. The supervisor position David had been chasing isn't new, it's mine. He'd been sabotaging my performance reviews, reporting non-existent violations, creating a false trail to make me look incompetent. The promotion isn't something he's earning. It's something he's stealing by destroying me first. I sit back in the vinyl booth, cold clarity settling over me. This isn't just betrayal. It's calculated cruelty, 3 years of it. Mike's been protecting me when he could have walked away. I drive home in a fog, the folder on my passenger seat feeling like evidence at a crime scene. The sun sets over Millbrook, casting long shadows across the streets I know so well. Our house looks normal from the outside. The porch light David installed last summer, the flower beds I planted, the mailbox we picked together when we first moved in. But stepping through the front door feels different. I'm entering a stranger's home. David's truck isn't in the driveway yet. I hide Mike's folder in the back of my closet behind winter coats we won't need for months. Then I start dinner out of routine, though it feels absurd. Standing at the stove, the reality of everything Mike told me hits me. Not just the financial theft, but the calculated cruelty. David didn't just steal my mother's money. He made me feel guilty for questioning him, convinced that my concerns about our marriage were selfish. The front door opens at 7:30. Something smells good, David calls, cheerful, relaxed. He walks in, kisses my cheek as if it's a normal evening. How was your day? I want to scream, to throw the folder at him, demand answers. Instead, I say, fine, yours, exhausting. He mentions the promotion committee meeting next week. He has no idea Mike has already told me the truth, that the meeting will discuss his termination, not his promotion. He washes his hands at the sink, excited and hopeful, completely unaware of the collapse waiting for him. We eat dinner. He talks about factory politics, supporters, and detractors. I nod at the right places, make the right sounds, watching myself from outside my body. After dinner, while David watches television, I retreat to our bedroom and open his laptop for the first time in 18 years. The password is our wedding anniversary, a bitter mockery. Inside, messages to Jennifer Palmer stretch back 14 months, detailing dinners, weekend trips, plans for a future that doesn't include me. Weekend trips explained as work training. Looking at houses, one from 3 months ago. A great townhouse near the lake, 2 bedrooms, updated kitchen, move-in planned after David's promotion. I screenshot everything, add it to the growing evidence folder. Inside the laptop, a folder labeled financial planning shows, spreadsheets calculating how many extra shifts I could cover, estimating how long before I would notice. My life reduced to numbers, timelines, a resource to be exploited. I close the laptop, sit on the edge of our bed, staring at 2 decades of shared life. My mother's quilt, our yard sale dresser, our 10th anniversary photo picnic at the lake. We looked happy then. Maybe we were, or maybe only I thought so. David appears in the doorway. Coming to bed soon? You seem distracted tonight. Just tired, I say. Long shift. He accepts it, just as he accepts my exhaustion, my sacrifices, as the price of the life we're building. He climbs in, asleep within minutes. I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, imagining confronting him. Denials, justifications, how he'd twist guilt onto me for snooping, for not trusting him. I've watched him manipulate conversations for years without seeing it as manipulation. Now I see clearly. So I don't confront him, not yet. I plan. If David has been building an exit strategy for 3 years, I need one too. Mine will be better. He underestimated the quiet woman who packs his lunch, works double shifts, never causes trouble. He thinks I'm weak, accommodating, easy to manage. Tomorrow, I start proving him wrong. The clock reads 3:47 a.m. as I drift into uneasy sleep. My last thought is of the folder in my closet, the evidence on his computer, the HR department number. I looked up before bed. David wanted a future without me. I'm going to make sure he doesn't have one at all. Monday morning arrives with rain drumming against the bedroom window. I wake before the alarm. David's still asleep beside me. I consider staying in bed, hiding from what I know is coming. But I get up, move through the routine, pack his lunch with steady hands. At the grocery store, I hear my name whispered 2 aisles over. I freeze. Everyone at the factory has seen them together. Maybe she knows. Maybe she's staying for the insurance. My face burns. I abandon my cart and leave through the side entrance. The rain has stopped, but the parking lot mirrors the gray sky. I sit in my car, realizing this is my life now, hiding in grocery lots while strangers discuss my marriage. By Wednesday, I notice shifts everywhere. Linda from the church choir corners me at the pharmacy, smile too bright, hand squeeze too sympathetic. She asks if everything is okay at home, emphasizing that she knows it isn't. Everything's fine, I tell her, pulling my hand away. Carol across the street, my longtime neighbor, suddenly avoids me. The Johnsons stop inviting me to weekend barbecues. Thursday evening, picking up medication for Mrs. Chin, 2 women fall silent mid-conversation, expressions mixing pity and curiosity. Secrets in small towns spread faster than facts. People have watched my life unravel before I even knew it. At Maple Grove on Friday, my supervisor Janet pulls me aside. In her small office, smelling of instant coffee and lavender air freshener, she closes the door. "I wanted you to hear this from a friend," she says, stomach-dropping words. "Rumors are going around. David and a woman from accounting, seen having lunch multiple times at that expensive Italian place in Greenville, our anniversary restaurant he said we couldn't afford." I try to reason it as work-related. Her expression tells me she doesn't believe it. "Honey, people are talking. I thought you should know." I appreciate the warning. She suggests taking a few days off. No, I need to work. The 12-hour shifts keep me from falling apart. At work, I stay busy, tending residents, ignoring the gnawing pain of knowing what David is doing with Jennifer Palmer. The looks follow me everywhere. Gas station, post office, dollar store. Millbrook has 15,000 people, and it feels like every one of them knows something. I take back roads to avoid Main Street, adding 15 minutes to my drive. Sunday morning, I skip church. The guilt heavy but outweighed by the thought of facing whispers. Grocery shopping at 6 a.m., the store nearly empty, the isolation protective but suffocating. David notices nothing or pretends not to. He continues his late nights, distracted conversations, excited speculation about the promotion. Tuesday evening, he comes home early. I stare out the kitchen window. "You've been quiet lately," he says, opening the refrigerator. I ask the question I've avoided. "Who's Jennifer Palmer?" His face goes still. "What?" "Jennifer Palmer from accounting. People say you've been having lunch with her." His expressions shift. Surprise, defensiveness, irritation, then wounded innocence. "Are you seriously listening to factory gossip?" he says. "People have seen us together." I tell him what I saw at the factory. The townhouse, the expensive lunches. The color drains from his face. He starts calculating, trying excuses. I interrupt. "I know about the account. David. I know where my mother's money went." Long silence. Then he tries a different approach. "Let me explain." "No," I stand, refusing to sit at the table. I don't want explanations or justifications. I walk to the bedroom, pull Mike's folder from the closet, return to the dining room. David hasn't moved, frozen, unable to believe this is happening. I drop the folder in front of him. "What is this?" he asks. "Evidence," I say. 3 years of fraudulent expense reports, falsified time cards, lies to HR about Mike's performance. He flips through pages, confusion, giving way to panic. "Where did you get this?" "Mike gave it to me. The man you tried to destroy. He's been protecting me, documenting everything in case I needed proof." Fear, real fear, crosses his face, not of losing me, but of losing everything. Monday passes, and the weight of what I've done settles into my bones. The signed folder sits in Catherine Walsh's office. Officially recorded. Irreversible. I've set a mechanism in motion that will crush my husband, and there's no turning back even if I wanted to. David's truck is in the driveway when I arrive home. He's sitting at the kitchen table, laptop open, animated like I haven't seen in months. "There you are," he says. "I was wondering where you went." "Work." I lie easily. "Listen, Thursday might be it. They want to meet with me at 10 a.m. routine, they said." He grins, excitement painting a foreign expression on his face. He has no idea what Thursday's meeting truly is. No idea that in 2 days, his entire world will collapse. I set my purse down carefully, afraid my hands will shake and give me away. He continues talking about the supervisor position. The future he's been working toward, the future that doesn't include me. I excuse myself to the bedroom and sit on the edge of the bed, staring at nothing. Wednesday passes in a blur. I work my shift at Maple Grove, return to a house that feels like a stage set, exchange meaningless words with a husband who has become a stranger. Thursday morning arrives under gray skies threatening rain. My phone rings at 8:30. "Catherine Walsh. Mrs. Brennan, your husband has been summoned for a meeting at 10 a.m. We're presenting it as a routine discussion, so he won't have time to prepare a defense or destroy evidence. Would you like to be notified when it's done?" I surprise myself with the answer. I want to be there in the building, close enough to know when it happens. There's a pause on her end, unusual, but understood. I call Janet at Maple Grove, use another sick day. Nothing about my routine matters anymore. At 9:45, I park in the factory visitor lot and walk into the administrative building. Maria, Catherine's assistant, offers me coffee and a chair in the small outer office. The coffee is bitter, stale, but I drink it, needing something to do with my hands. The clock ticks toward 10, each second hammering. At exactly 10, David's voice sounds cheerful and confident in the hallway. "Morning, Maria. Ready for me?" The door to Catherine's office closes. His tone is jovial, thinking this is the meeting where everything he's worked for finally pays off. Then Catherine's voice cuts through, formal and unyielding. The small talk ends abruptly. I hear confusion first, then defensive arguments. "There must be some mistake. I can explain," David says. But Catherine's voice remains calm, methodical, repeating phrases. "Financial irregularities, falsified safety documentation, ethics committee verification." Long silence follows. David's voice sharp, a mix of anger and panic. "What ethics committee verification? Who verified anything?" I imagine her sliding the termination letter across the desk, his eyes scanning the corporate language and legal justification, landing on the signature at the bottom. "Mine." I grip my coffee cup, knuckles white. David's voice shifts completely. "Sarah, my wife verified this." I know what she's telling him. Yes, his wife provided the evidence. Yes, she signed the statement making it official. The woman he's lied to for 3 years has the power to end his career, and she used it. More silence. Chair scrapes. David emerges into the outer office, ashen, color-drained, holding the termination letter limply. He doesn't see me at first, eyes fixed on the paper, scanning over and over. Then our eyes meet. Disbelief, not anger yet, not hurt, just incomprehension that I was capable of this. The woman who packed his lunch, covered shifts, gave him her mother's inheritance, made herself smaller for 18 years has just orchestrated his professional destruction. Robert Chin, legal counsel, appears. Mr. Brennan, you're being escorted from the building immediately. Security will supervise while you collect personal items. Mrs. Brennan. David's voice cracks. Robert continues. Neutral but firm. Local police may want to speak regarding financial irregularities uncovered during the investigation. Criminal charges extend beyond employment matters. Embezzlement of company funds, falsification of safety records, fraud involving company accounts. Mike appears, guiding me toward the side exit. Let's get you out of here, he says quietly. I catch a final glimpse of David standing in the hallway, the termination letter in hand, lost in a building he'd worked in for 20 years. The promotion committee meets while I watch from the car. At 10:47, David emerges with a cardboard box of personal items from his locker. I receive a text from Catherine. Mike Torres has been officially selected as supervisor, effective immediately. David's 3 years of sabotage, embezzlement, manipulation, lies they were for nothing. The job was never his. I watch him sit in the truck, staring at the steering wheel, surrounded by the ruins of the future he thought he built. I start my car and drive away. For the first time in 18 years, I don't worry about him, his feelings, or whether I should try to fix anything. I just drive. Rain begins, wipers sweeping back and forth, clearing what's ahead. I have no destination. Just freedom. Just choice. I check into a cheap motel that night, sleep for 12 hours straight. The first real rest in weeks. Friday morning, I call a lawyer. The separation is fast. David contests nothing. He can't. The house goes on the market. Joint savings divided. $4,000 each after legal fees. 3 weeks later, I sign a lease on a studio apartment above Miller's hardware store in downtown Millbrook. 1 room for living and sleeping, a kitchenette, a bathroom with ancient tile and slow hot water. But it's mine. Fresh paint, clean, fair rent. The apartment smells of paint and wood shavings. The window overlooks Main Street where people move about their ordinary lives. I'll take it. Moving is simple. I take almost nothing from the house. A small table, 2 chairs, my mother's dresser, clothes, basic kitchen items. 18 years of accumulated life left behind like old skin. Yard sale signs go up. I don't attend. I don't want to watch strangers pick through my past. First night in the apartment, I sleep on an air mattress. Streetlight shadows cast across the ceiling, Millbrook's distant sounds drifting up. When I wake, the heavy dread of the previous year is gone. I feel light, unworried. Gossip shifts as facts emerge. Opinions split. Some see me as a hero exposing corruption. Others whisper betrayal. I stop caring. Linda from the church choir brings a covered dish, apology in hand. I knew about Jennifer Palmer. I should have told you, but I didn't know how. It's okay, I say. Carol from next door brings a casserole and tomato plant for my fire escape. I wish I had your courage, she says. Small town gossip cuts both ways. Yes, everyone knows my business, but other women see that you can walk away and survive. I become an accidental example, uncomfortable but purposeful. One evening in early autumn, Mike visits with paperwork. The factory's restitution program may recover part of my inheritance. $10,000 to $15,000 if the investigation confirms all irregularities. Not a miracle, but something. We sit on the small balcony, drinking iced tea. Mike apologizes again for letting me cover shifts while David used me, for prioritizing his own protection over mine. I reflect. A year ago, I would have defended David, accused Mike of jealousy. Now, I see clearly. I needed to discover it myself, to be angry enough to act, to value saving myself over saving my marriage. 6 months pass. I settle into a new rhythm. Work at Maple Grove, quiet evenings in my small apartment, Tuesday night book club, weekend farmers market. David attempts to contact me once via lawyer about reconciliation. I don't respond. He chose his path. I chose mine. The restitution program returns $1,200 from the factory's investigation. Not the full inheritance, but enough to breathe, to stop working every available overtime shift. One Saturday afternoon, folding laundry from the laundromat, I catch my reflection in the window. 50, 2 years old. Worn jeans, nursing home t-shirt, gray roots, no makeup, no jewelry except my mother's silver bracelet. Tired but real. I've stopped performing for an invisible audience. The studio apartment isn't where I imagined, but it's entirely mine. No one else's mess, lies, or needs to navigate. Freedom doesn't always feel like triumph. Sometimes it feels like falling. Sometimes it saves you. I sip tea in my chipped mug, watch Millbrook's lights flicker on, and feel curiosity for the first time in years, a flicker of hope. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm living, and that is enough.